From a fully functional wooden supercar to a Bugatti literally built from trash, these are some of the craziest homemade cars on the planet. We'll see a build so deep underground it had to be dug out, an old rusty Toyota turned into a hypercar, and even a machine made from one of the most unlikely materials you can imagine. These DIY builds aren't just impressive, they're completely insane. Let's head to the Jiangsu province in rural China, where a young farmer and mechanic named Wang Jian decided he wouldn't just dream about his favorite car, he would build it from the ground up. His mission? To create a replica of the ultra-rare, multi-million-dollar Lamborghini Reventon. Armed with a passion for cars and about $9,500, Wang started with scrap metal and parts from an old Nissan and a Volkswagen sedan. Over the course of a year, he single-handedly welded and hammered together a machine that is the very definition of raw ambition. It doesn't have windows or a plush interior, but it has the unmistakable silhouette of a raging bull and fully functional scissor doors. This build is a testament to what someone can create with limited resources but unlimited drive, proving you don't need much to start chasing a massive dream. From a raw Lambo in China, we travel to Poland, where amateur mechanic Jacek Mazur took on a legend. A health and safety advisor by day, Mazur spent 8 years of his life and about $33,000 to build a stunning replica of the iconic McLaren F1. This wasn't a kit car, it was an obsession. He fabricated the complex tubular chassis himself, sourced a V12 engine from an old BMW to stay true to the original spirit, and even installed brakes from a Mercedes. Most impressively, he perfectly recreated the F1's famous central driving seat. Mazur's creation is a masterclass in sourcing and skill, a puzzle pieced together over nearly a decade. We now shift from replicas to a completely original creation. In the city of Maglis, Bulgaria, Lubomir Vorodanov dedicated over 20 years to designing and building his very own supercar from scratch. Dubbed the Bulgarian Beast, this car isn't a copy of anything. It's a unique vision of automotive aggression. This car features a lightweight composite body, a custom tube-frame chassis, and an aggressive, angular design that looks like it's from a sci-fi movie. It's powered by a 4.2-liter Audi V8, giving it the performance to back up its wild looks. This build stands apart because it's not about imitation, but imagination. Vietnam is the home to some of the most ambitious DIY builders on the planet. This is where the team at NetTV asked a simple question. Can you turn one of the most common family cars into one of the rarest hypercars in the world? They started with an old Toyota, which they supposedly bought for just a few $100s. The goal? To transform it into a stunning replica of the multi-million-dollar Koenigsegg Jesko. And this is where the story gets wild. The team spent an entire year on this project. They started by welding a custom steel frame to get those iconic Koenigsegg proportions just right. Then, they sculpted the entire car out of clay to create a perfect mold. This wasn't the final bodywork, it was a master template. From there, they laid fiberglass over the clay to create the final lightweight body panels. It's a technique used by pro car designers, pulled off with incredible skill in a backyard. Now, it doesn't have the 1,578 horsepower of a real Jesko. The trusty old Toyota engine still powers the car, making it a fully drivable creation. But the exterior is so convincing, it would fool almost anyone on the street. The build that takes resourcefulness to the absolute extreme. It's not just one car, but a whole phenomenon led by several Vietnamese creators who build Bugattis out of, well, clay and trash. These projects are the ultimate expression of turning nothing into something incredible. The process is as wild as it sounds. Builders usually start by welding a steel frame to serve as the car's skeleton. Then, in a process that has mesmerized millions online, they pack and sculpt locally sourced clay over the frame, hand-shaping it to replicate the Bugatti Chiron's famous curves. But the car isn't actually made of clay. The clay is just a perfect, hand-sculpted mold. Once the shape is right, they apply fiberglass over it to create a durable, lightweight body. The final cars are often painted in classic Bugatti colors, complete with functional lights and a mock-up of that legendary W16 engine. While they only drive at low speeds, their real purpose is to be works of art. Let's jump from clay to carbon fiber, and from Vietnam to Colorado, for a build that brings homemade supercars into the 21st century. Physicist Sterling Bugattis and his son were playing the video game Forza when his son asked a simple question: "Can we build one of our own?" Their car of choice? The Lamborghini Aventador. Their tool of choice? A desktop 3D printer. Sterling taught himself 3D printing from YouTube and started printing the car piece by piece on a small, consumer-grade printer. He then assembled the small printed sections, glued them together, and wrapped them in carbon fiber for strength. He built a custom steel chassis and dropped in a Corvette V8 to power it. The project got so much attention that Lamborghini itself took notice. Instead of shutting it down, the company was so impressed that they donated a pair of real Aventador headlights and a steering wheel for the build. From a car born from a 3D printer, we move to one born from trees. Another Vietnamese creator, the master craftsman behind the YouTube channel ND Woodworking Art. This guy takes the idea of a hand-built car to a completely different level. His masterpiece? A jaw-dropping, all-electric Lamborghini Sean Roadster, built almost entirely out of wood, for his son. This isn't some static sculpture. It's a functional piece of automotive art. The build, which took him just 65 days, started with wood salvaged from discarded trees. Using little more than a chainsaw and hand tools, he meticulously carved every single panel and curve to match the Lamborghini's iconic lines. The wheels are made of wood and wrapped in rubber. It's powered by a small electric motor, and it has working steering, brakes, and even LED lights. The attention to detail here is just staggering. The famous Lamborghini scissor doors are fully functional, opening smoothly. The interior has a carved wooden steering wheel and seats, perfectly scaled for a kid. He's even built other wooden marvels, like a tribute to the YouTuber Mr. Beast. Let's move to the story of Ken Imhoff and his Lamborghini Countach replica, a project that embodies an almost superhuman level of patience. Get this, Ken spent 17 years building a flawless replica of the iconic supercar, not in a spacious workshop, but entirely in his basement. And this was no kit car. Ken built everything from scratch. He started with a custom steel space frame, engineered to perfection. He then hand-formed the aluminum body panels himself, painstakingly recreating every single line of the notoriously complex Countach design. He sourced a powerful Ford V8 engine to make sure his creation wasn't just for show, but was a genuinely powerful machine. For 17 years, this masterpiece took shape underground, but that created a pretty famous problem. Once the car was finally done, how was he going to get it out? The answer was as extreme as the build itself. Ken had to hire a contractor to literally excavate his basement wall and dig a ramp down into the earth, just to bring his creation into the sunlight for the first time. And finally, the car that completely shatters all expectations. This isn't a replica or just a visual statement. It's a high-performance, road-legal supercar made almost entirely out of wood. Meet the Splinter, the brainchild of creator Joe Harmon from North Carolina. Joe and his team spent nearly a decade on this project, which actually started as a graduate school assignment. The goal was insane: use wood in every possible way, not just for its looks, but for its structural strength. Inspired by a World War II fighter plane that was also built from wood, Harmon set out to prove that wood actually has a better strength-to-weight ratio than steel or aluminum. The result is a true engineering marvel. The car's about 90% wood, including a chassis made from laminated wood composites and even parts of the suspension. The sleek body is formed from woven strips of cherry veneer, and the wheels themselves are made from over 275 individual wooden pieces. And this thing is built for speed. It's powered by a 7-liter V8 engine that puts out an estimated 650 to 700 horsepower, with a theoretical top speed of over 200 miles per hour. Joe admits the car is hot, noisy, and you probably wouldn't take it to the grocery store. But that was never the point. The Splinter is a fully functional proof of concept, a rolling experiment designed to push the boundaries of engineering. It is, without a doubt, one of the most ambitious, beautiful, and absolutely craziest homemade supercars the world has ever seen.